My favorite part of the summer was all the exercise that we got this year. It was good for me personally, and the kids too. And they kept asking me, why are we walking so much? And I told them, you can go home and play video games when you're done here. But right now, you're Indians and you're learning about nature, and you are taking a walk, and we're going to be healthy.
You know, and some of the kids too in our walks, they're funny because I get these kids that run around me, he's holding my hand, and then we get kids that are like, oh, I'm so tired. So in order for them to rest while we're walking, they run ahead of us to the next bench along the trail. So they're running to the next bench and they're all out of breath, all sweaty, and then they sit there. And really it takes us about 15 seconds to catch up to them. And so they're sitting there, oh my God, they get up and they take off to the next one so that they can rest. And by the end of it, they're just dead tired, you know, and just, breathing hard and sweaty. And then they're slowly walking with us, you know, after that. It's so funny because so many of our kids, even though we have such a green city, a lot of them don't get out that much, really. I mean, outside of their neighborhood or, you know, outside of that little square, you know, block they live on. And so for them just to get out on a trail, you know, in a park, and be able to just walk along and just kind of run around and do stuff, they just get so excited, you know. And especially when we go out for like a canoe ride and I take them for a canoe ride or something, at least half of the kids have never been in a canoe before, and let alone had to paddle with me to help me out. And so some of them, you know, they get so scared about tipping over. But I told them, like, I've been doing this for over 12 years, never tipped over once. And so, of course, some of them like, oh, really? And they start, you know, doing a little thing, and I'm like, oh, come on. I got my wallet in my pocket, don't do that.
Well, it's important for all kids, but I think it's more important for American Indian kids because we have a higher rate of diabetes, and our children don't know about it. I mean, we're used to eating not healthy. I mean, I don't like to say that about my people, but fry bread, I mean, it's not the best thing for you. And I think that us bringing awareness to the kids and the kids bringing the knowledge that they're learning with us home is going to help make our community stronger.
The fact that we've been working more into our health and our exercise part of it is very good. I think that was a really nice step forward, is to really make that piece something, again, that's a living piece. So it's not just like they sit there and, again, they just, oh, this is diabetes, you know, this is the native, you know, percentage of diabetics, you know, of course we're way up there. But just to say, like, what do you guys eat at home? What would you like to eat? What do you eat at school? What do you like here? Okay, so if you're making a choice, what would you choose to eat? And then help them kind of figure that out for themselves, and then figure out, okay, what's a sometimes food, what's a, you know, could be an everyday food. And then what do you do for exercise? What do you do when you get home? You know, and just really try to ask them, like, what does this mean to you to be healthy? What does that mean? You know, does it mean that I'm telling you everything you need to do? Or does it mean you're helping me figure out what works for you?
I thought it was really great that we did something with Jim Rock on the river. He showed us that it was Dakota land and the meanings of the mounds and the plant life, how St. Paul is trying to restore some of that area into walking trails and things like that, and how to bring more of the indigenous plants back. And so that really tied into it. And the kids, when this happens, they kind of like, they take ownership, and they're more enthused about picking up some trash, or all of a sudden they're more protective of their school. And they'll tell another student, hey, don't do that, this is our school.
And then for the kids to find out what's actually in the water, open their eyes to a lot of things. A lot of our kids don't think about the future. They don't think about what they want to do for a career when they grow up. And it's nothing bad, it's just we need to encourage our children more. We need to show them that there are successful Native Americans out there.
The kids, I think, need to be exposed to professional people that are Indian people that have these sorts of jobs, to know it's achievable and that it's not just a dream for another race, but this could be our dream. We had a chemist, a scientist, a doctor, and a student this year. And my question to all of them is, why did you choose this field, and what advice do you have kids our age to get started in a career?
I liked how he came in because a lot of our kids were shocked to see this man who was young. He was young. And he had his career and he knew what he was doing. He had a plan and he stuck to his plan. And I think that gave a lot of our kids hope and made them start thinking about what they wanted to do. The art and craft that I taught this summer was chokers. Mr. D did hair ties. He did teepees. We did teepees. We've done dance sticks. With Miss Sue, the kids made bandolier bags, and those are traditional Ojibwe bags that men or women could carry. And they got to sew them themselves, so they learned how to sew. They designed it themselves with the traditional designs, floral designs.
You can turn anything into a math problem. And we have a number of people who are very good at that. And doing things that we're losing are the arts, the crafts. You're going to make a beading project. Well, how many beads do you need? How many colors do you need? How long is your string? How long is... You need to be able to figure all that out before you start your project. You don't want to run out in the middle of it. And there's just different things that this program offers the families that they wouldn't have otherwise.
I teach kids a lot about drumming and singing. That's a big part of it too that I do. Is I not only do arts and crafts, but I also do singing, drumming, dancing. And so some of the kids got to practice and learn some of the old songs. We also made medicine pouches with the older kids, and they got to learn about the 4 different types of medicine that we use a lot in this area, with cedar, sage, sweetgrass, and tobacco. And they got to understand why we put those all together, and why they're medicine plants to begin with, and how they can help you in the healing process.
We're on the 7th generation now, and it's like the historical trauma thing. We've forgotten. We've never been taught how to respect. And when we have these classes, when we go out into the woods, or if we go to the history center, wherever, we're teaching them how to be respectful in public and how to take pride and hold their head up high.
My favorite part was the times when we got to take the kids to various sacred sites around the cities that have to do with the Dakota people here. I thought that was a good eye-opening experience for a lot of the kids, because a lot of the spaces here are actually really close to where we go to school and where they live, and they really didn't have any prior knowledge to that. So showing them right around their neighborhood that there's actually like historical sacred sites that really still mean something to the people that live here today. And I thought making that connection to them, I thought was really important. And I thought that was really cool when they actually got excited about it.
This is what I really believe and why I do it every summer. I think if it wasn't for our program, many kids would just be in the house all day long, all summer long. I think the kids we work with don't have a chance to go out and experience things and get away from the home. A couple of years ago, this kid, we were on a field trip, and he said, "I love Indian Youth Enrichment." And I was all happy to hear that, because, we all love Indian Youth Enrichment. And I said, "Well, why do you love Indian Youth Enrichment?" He said, "Because I get to go outside." And he lives in an apartment with a single mom who works, and he just stays in the house all the time, except when he's with us.
I mean, there's always moments that kind of help remind me a lot of times of why I do what I do. Because sometimes, you're thinking, wow, it's so overwhelming at different times to be a role model for so many kids. But at the same time, the fact that I'm able to work with these kids in the capacity that I do is actually a gift.
Our children are experiencing so much obesity, so much abuse. There's alcohol, there's drugs. And this program lets them be children It lets them learn in a good way. They're comfortable and they feel safe. And we can't lose this. We can't.
Well, I just want to thank the University of Minnesota Duluth for believing in us, and it's really empowering to me to have you believe enough in our program to fund us. So thank you, miigwech.